between the Olympic High School Trojans and your Kingston Buccaneers. Kingston High School, as a member of the Olympic League, will demonstrate excellence in school pride and spirit. This will be accomplished by positive team and respect. By showing commitment, passion for the game, and fair play, we strive to be role models in our school and communities. Home or away, win or lose, play hard, play fair, have fun, but remember that it's a game. At this time, we would ask that you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag And now let's meet the starting lineup for tonight's game. First for the visiting Olympic Trojans, a 5'8" sophomore guard, number 22, Olivia Williams. For the Buccaneers, a 4'11" freshman guard, number 4, Eileen Kay. For Olympic, a 5'3" junior guard, number 5, Aubrey R.C. For the Bucks, a 5'11" sophomore wing, number 21, Drew Clark. For the Trojans, a 5'3" senior guard, number 3, Chessa Hayes. For the Bucks, a 5'4" sophomore guard, number 10, Caitlin Harper. For the Trojans, a 5'8" senior post, number 33, Amanda Vaughn. For the Bucks, a 5'6" senior post, number 15, Sierra Smith. And for the Trojans, a 5'11" senior post, number 24, Ashley Payne. And for the Bucks, a 5'10" senior post, number 11, Savannah Turriana. The Trojans are coached by Lori Shaw, assisted by Al Valencia. The Buccaneers are coached by Ann Smith, assisted by Gail Higgins. Officials for tonight's game, Chip Bonchan, Cheryl Engel, and John Lambert.
Welcome to West Sound TV Presents High School Basketball. We got a fun one for you tonight from the Kingston High School Gymnasium as the Buccaneer ladies host the Olympic High Trojans. Patricia Ann's on the camera for you, Kitty Campagna on that other microphone, and I'm the Dr. Doc Parr from West Sound TV. And Kitty, the Buccaneers are only one game in the loss column out of that final position for a playoff.
Doc, there are 6 games left in league for both of these teams, counting tonight, and things could just flip-flop like you can't believe, because it has been a very parity-filled league.
And the Trojans and the visiting blue and white tonight in 3 and only 2 games ahead of that number 4.
And, of course, then you have your undefeated Port Angeles. And the only team that really gets a break in districts is the number 1 team. The rest of them go into a loser-out division, which is just absolutely insane. And I talked to Coach Shaw, and she said, that's crazy.
Well, Coach Shaw in her 5th year for the Trojans, and they get it on inside to Amanda Pond. Shot is blocked, though, and Kingston will come away with it. Starting for the Buccaneers, we have Caitlin Carper, not Amanda, Savannah Turrieta, Sierra Smith, Drew Clark, and Eileen Kay.
If you think your television has them too small, do not adjust your settings because they are correct.
And to start out with the 3, it's Drew Clark, a sophomore at 5'11", first-year head coach Matt Smith up here at Kingston.
Matt was an assistant coach for Tony Chisholm in the boys program at North Kitsap, so he has quite a bit of experience.
And turnover, Olympic starting Jessa Hayes, Aubrey Arce, Olivia Williams, who had a great game in the last time we saw Olympic, Ashley Payne, and Amanda Pond, who scored that first 3 for the Trojans.
Well, an Olympics missing senior Olivia Romero, one of their guards who's sick, and I think that's going to show tonight because if Kingston put some pressure on it, it's going to be awfully tough.
Oh, nice drive in that time by Sierra Smith, but it would not go down. Olympic comes away with it just underway here in number 1 up at Kingston High School, home of the Buccaneers. Kingston, of course, in the home white and gold and red.
Oh, nice pass inside.
Yeah, that's too bad that Amanda Pond couldn't complete it because Olivia deserved the assist on that pass.
Oh, definitely. But they were able to get it back. Ashley Payne awake underneath there.
And the senior Ashley Payne bringing it on in for the Olympic High Trojans. And Payne will take the shot on the outside for 3 to tie it up, 3-3.
I love that the 2 tallest girls out there are shooting the 3s. This could be a high-scoring game, or you would think, but the first time they met, it was 33-27.
Pretty tight game, and that was at Olympic. Olympic coming away the winner on that one.
Payne leads her team in steals, and that shows up once again on that particular play. Nice move, but
that's
not able to go
Arce.
any farther.
Good D, though, by Kingston to shut her off on that drive, and they'll have to work it back out. Arce with it. Inside the Pond. Pond makes a nice move, won't go down, and the board pulled down by Savannah Turrieta, one of the seniors out there for the Buccaneers. A young team out there for Coach Smith.
Coach Smith says you might see that, especially as it goes on a bit. There are sometimes some young mistakes, but he said they've been a lot of fun to coach.
Olympic with it, and it's going to go off of Ole. Nope, they're going to say it was knocked out of bounds by Kingston, and Ole will get the inbound.
Kingston did touch that, but I was with you, Doc. I thought number 5 had gotten it right after that. This is kind of a tough court to tell where that sideline is.
Oh, nice drive by Ashley. Shot won't go down, though, and Kingston has it running the other direction. And that's Eileen Kay.
Eileen is a freshman who started the year out on JV and has not only worked her way up onto the varsity as a starter.
Nice board that time to keep it alive for the Buccaneers by Sarah Smith. And I'm not going to call Eileen short.
No.
I'm going to say that she is 4'11".
There you are. He said she is quite a spark plug out there. Nice
Smith
shot.
Gets the bucket. And Kingston has a 5-3 lead here about halfway through the first period.
Both teams kind of feeling each other out. Kingston running that 2-3 zone so far seems to be working pretty well.
Long outside shot by some
Olivia
Williams.
That's only 2. Great arc on that thing. I think it's once you've played Port Townsend, I hear, who has the very tall young woman who is a great shot blocker, you learn to get an arc on your shot.
Oh, good job by Savannah Smith taking care of that loose ball down low, and Kingston takes it away. Good job by Turrieta.
Yeah, that was the senior Sierra Smith who scored that last basket.
Cross court, Kingston keeps it from going out of bounds. Smith once again drives the paint but dishes out. Good drive and the whistle. So that should send Drew Clark, the sophomore, up to the free throw line. And, you know, we saw Olympic a couple of weeks ago up at North Kitsap, and the money would have been on Olympic to beat North, and Olympic had some problems that night.
Well, it was mainly when they applied pressure in the second half, and they waited till then partially to save legs, but that was when it became very difficult.
Second shot is off, and rebound is alive. Kingston with a great save.
That was Shooter getting her own rebound. You've got to love that as a coach. I know, that's
Drew
amazing.
Clark not in the paint, on the sideline. Pond gets it out to Williams, and she gets it to Hayes. Take away by the Bucks, but they give it back.
Great plan to run with the small but fast.
Oh, good pass. Nice assist that time. Arbery RC, and I believe that assist goes to Ashley Payne.
Ashley's the high scorer for that team with 17 points a game, but she certainly is a cog all the way around.
2:35 left to go in this first period, and it's tied at 7-7. Turnover, and Olympic will bring it in.
And into the game, we have Charlotte Timoteo. Charlotte a force on the under the basket as a rebounder.
And that time she sends it to Ashley. Ashley's shot is off, and they're going to say off Kingston, so Olympic will get the inbound.
That's John Lambert making the call. The other two officials are Champ Hollingshad and Cheryl Ondrak. It's like Dracula. I will remember that.
Hayes brings it in to RC. Uh-oh, it's going to go off of Ashley Payne. And so Kingston will get it. We're tied. Just a little over 2 minutes to go in the first period.
Coach Smith said in the fourth quarter of their first game they had 11 points between the two teams. They have 14 now, so it's a little bit higher scoring.
Kingston working it around outside that three-point line. Durietta will drive. The paint shot is off, and there she is, Timoteo with the board.
That was nice offense, and that is the type of offense that Coach Smith wants to run. He wants them driving towards the basket.
Ashley Payne's shot is off, but the rebound to Arcee. Back to Ashley out front. And she's going to get doubled.
And
nice job by Ashley getting it to Hayes.
I think that was called double mats out there because they are both not real tall, but.
Shot is off, and Kingston comes away with it.
Sierra Smith with that rebound, waits to find a guard and gets it ahead.
Plenty of time for Kingston on the shot clock. They'll take the long one, and a rebound by Amanda Pond for the Trojans.
I have Turietta as the high scorer for this team with 11 points per game. And that's how you do it. You just keep shooting.
We're under a minute to go in number one.
Almost a step by Timoteo.
Timoteo gets it to Payne. Oh, nice pass by Ashley to Pond. Shot won't go down, but they're going to say Olympic will maintain possession.
Pond has had at least 3 of those that aren't finding the actual twine.
Man, there's been a couple great passes by Ashley.
Yeah, they don't get written up as assists till they score.
That's
but
right.
I know, you're like me. I want to put that A down.
Our friend is Keelan Belzaretti in the game for Coach Lori Shaw. Timoteo sends it into Ashley, and Payne will get the 2 for the Trojans.
That was a really pretty pass. At first I thought she'd lost control of it, and no, it was a pass.
Oh, they're going to call a blocking foul on Belzaretti. Be an inbound for Kingston, and bringing it in will be Savannah Turietta. Oh, Sierra Smith's shot is off, and Pond with the rebound for the Trojans.
Payne not afraid to bring it up court.
Oh, her shot is off, though, and that's it for number one, and the Olympic High Trojans lead, but only by 2, 9-7 over the home-standing Kingston Buccaneers.
Well, Doc, both of these teams are missing some key players because of sickness or injuries. Skylar Backen is not in there, and she averages around 6 points for Kingston. I didn't get the pronunciations because I didn't know because they weren't in there. But Ku'uipo Fontes. I think that works for me.
And we know the Fontes name up here in Kingston.
Yes, there have been many, and she averages 7 points. So that's 14, almost 14 points right there. Olivia Romero's not so much a big scorer for Olympic, but she is one of the ball handlers. So that's a big loss for them.
And one of the seniors out there for Coach Lori Shaw. And, you know, it seems like whether they're 1, 2, 3, or 4, the Olympic High Trojans, all for the last few years, have always ended up making it to the playoffs and getting relatively deep into districts.
Oh, I know. They continue to surprise every year. And a couple of those times, Kingston was the one that they beat to make it to state, in fact. So just some kind of bad blood between these two teams. And this is the scene of the crime, Doc. The last time we were here, the Kingston boys lost to the Olympic boys on a last-second shot. So I don't think there's any real revenge for that tonight.
Well, those two teams are playing down at Olympic tonight. This is January 22nd, Tuesday night. Like you said, 6 games left to go in the regular season. Hard to believe.
Oh, nice force by Balzaretti.
Takeaway by the Trojans. Nice double team down low, and it forces the travel. And, of course, Balzaretti is a very familiar name to Trojan fans.
Definitely. One of the assistant coaches is Kelly Balzaretti.
Just underway in the second period, and a 2-point lead for the Trojans.
Turrieta trying to drive on Payne, but not letting it happen. Carper puts it up.
And she'll get a trip to the free throw line. Well, her sister Amanda decided not to play this season. And Amanda, of course, was one of the leaders on last year's Kingston team.
You must have read an article I missed, Doc.
Nope.
But I trust you very much so. And Caitlin's just a sophomore. Caitlin also saw a lot of playing time last year.
Well, maybe she graduated, but...
No, I think you're right. I think you are correct. They lost Maggie Snaza. I remember that. And she makes the second one to bring it within 1. 9-8 lead for Olympic. Pressure not causing a whole lot of trouble yet, which is really nice to see for Olympic.
Hayes to Payne, down to Williams, back out front.
Now, one of the things Coach Smith likes about his team is how well they've played defense. And you do watch how quickly they close gaps out there.
Oh, Ashley Payne, they're only going to... Well, they're going to give her 3 on that one.
Nope, but 2. She was
okay, that's what I thought. 11-8 lead for the Trojans. Nice pass and a good shot that time by Drew Clark.
Sophomore averages around 6 points, but you watch her, that's hard to believe it's not a few more than that.
Oh, good hands that time. The good hands play to Eileen Kay knocking that ball loose.
Sometimes when you are 4'11", you can sneak in like that.
Well, ball was right down low on the floor, too.
Exactly.
So
that's at eye level, Doc.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't say it.
No, just kidding. I, too, not of the overly tall fashion. Dad was 6'4", Mom was 5'4". I got Mom's height. But some of Dad's basketball skills.
6 minutes left to go here in this first period. A 1-point lead for the Trojans, who have the ball, 11-10, and they'll work it around again outside that 3-point line. Balls are ready to Payne.
When they put a little bit of pressure on like that, it takes a little bit longer to get into an offense. Nice pass inside.
That was Hayes getting it on into her inside person. Williams couldn't complete it, though. Down at the other end, Payne with the takeaway. And we're going to get a timeout by Coach Lori Shaw. Oh, and she's got a word or two for the refs on that one.
And I don't think you can say that the crowd made it such that they could not hear. Not a lot of people out on a Tuesday night. Maybe
but enthusiastic.
The ones that are here, I'll tell you, definitely.
In fact, that first JV game, I couldn't believe the crowd for that one, and that was a good game.
Well, Kingston came away with a 33-30 win on that, and they had been behind until about the last minute of that game, from what I could tell. So I talked to Coach Lori Shaw and said, what a great JV game. She said, well, if I hadn't stolen a couple of his players for my next game, he probably would have won that one. So Al Valencia, or actually it's Lou Guzman who coaches that one.
Well, Al, one of the assistants, along with Lou and Kelly Balzaretti. Nate Andrews, the AD down there at Olympic, and Rachel Davenport, AD up here, and we know Rachel from volleyball.
A couple years ago, exactly. And she is one busy lady, I tell you. I send things quite often to the athletic secretary, Melissa Olson, because she is a great responder.
5:37 left to go in the first half. Olympic with the ball on a 1-point lead, 11-10 over the Kingston Buccaneers. Payne over to Williams.
Kingston remains in their zone.
Hayes goes inside to Timoteo. Shot is off, but a whistle blows, and it looks like it'll be a trip to the free throw line for Charlotte Timoteo.
How'd you like that baby hook? It almost went in. It was a baby hook bank shot. That is actually the first team foul in Kingston and only 3 on Olympic.
First one down for Charlotte. Senior out there for the Trojans. Second one's good. And it's now a 3-point lead, 13-10 for Olympic.
Carper with it. It's unique when your sophomore is one of who has the most experience out there.
Isabel Bolio.
You were just hoping she'd get in, weren't you?
I got it right once.
And she'll take the shot.
Take it and count it for 2. Isabel, another sophomore. A lot of sophomores out there for Coach Smith.
Yeah, he's come into a program that has had great success, and right now he's working with some really young kids.
Williams will drive the paint, dip it down to Timoteo for another 2. 15-12 lead.
Kudos to Charlotte, because she was almost too far underneath that basket, and she was able to get it up and in.
Kingston working it around the outside. Carper to Kay. Down low into the corner to Caitlin.
Gotta like the patience of this Kingston team. They were trying for that drive that time. Balzaretti comes away with it.
Halfway through the second period. And right there in front of the referee. Saw who touched that one last.
Yeah, pretty easy to see.
Olympic will bring it on in. Ashley Payne's going to come on out, as well as Timoteo. Pond will inbound for the Trojans.
Chessa Hayes.
There's Williams with it, and she traveled, took that little step before the ball went to the floor. And the Buccaneers are going to call a timeout. They're only down by 3, 15-12, 3:51 mark here in the second period. So a pretty tight game.
Not a lot of substituting for Kingston, though. So those girls, if you're watching, there's a little bit of holding the sides, and they're getting some water right now. So this timeout may be almost more of a rest than it is a tell them what to do, because Coach Smith should be reasonably happy with what they're doing. Although Ashley Payne, as usual, has 7 points. Just, I think by walking on the court, she gets 3.
Well, an Olympic is 7-3 in the Olympic League, 10-4 overall. That's a pretty good record. And the Buccaneers currently in, I believe, 5th spot. Nice drive there. Shot won't go down, though. And Trojans push it quickly. The Buccaneers 4-6 in league. Into Williams. She'll kick it over to RC.
Coach Shaw said she wants her team to take the right shot tonight. And that, I think she would have liked that one. It just didn't go down.
Yep, and they're going to call a foul against the Trojans on that.
I think that's on Balzaretti, and that...
Pretty clean game, only 4 on Olympic and only 1 on Kingston so far with 3 minutes, 16 seconds left to go in the first half.
Balzaretti with half of her team total, though. Carper looking on the outside.
And there it is. Shot is up by Bolio. But the rebound fought for and brought out of there by Williams. And it's going to go back to Kingston. And I don't know if you want to be jacking at the ref.
She was having a conversation with him, and
the ball is live.
And she didn't pay attention to where her pass went, unfortunately.
Correct.
But, you know, I wasn't underneath the basket with her, and I wasn't getting hit in the face if that might have been what happened. So
Carper, and the whistle blows. Foul called on the outside. We're going to... Must have been Bolio on the inside. They're calling it on number 12. She's got her first foul.
I don't know that she has enough weight to have a foul, but that's okay. But that's true of several of the girls out there. Williams with the shot.
It's off, and the board pulled down by the Buccaneers.
Nice strong hands.
Drew Clark's had a good game so far for Kingston. Only a sophomore. Yeah, she's listed at 5'11".
Well, you can't teach tall, but you also can't teach what she's doing out there. She's playing really tough defense. I've liked watching her play.
Carper with it, over into the corner.
Turrieta not afraid to go in that middle.
Oh, yeah, kept alive by Carper. Shot is off, but Kingston will get another opportunity. Oh, beautiful pass by Bolio. And it'll pay off as Drew Clark puts it through. So we get to give the good assist to Bolio on that one.
Well, they had not hit the rim in any of those attempts, so they were almost running out of shot clock, too.
Down by 1. Oh, Payne drives the paint and puts it through.
That you have to like that if you're a coach, because Payne is taking over when she knows she can.
Under 2 minutes to go in this first half. Ball knocked out of bounds by Olympic. Kingston will get the inbound. A lot of time on the shot clock, 21 seconds.
A lot of air under Chessa Hayes' feet on that one. Nice job.
Sophomore Caitlin Carper out front. Back to Carper in the corner.
Some nice screens being set. People trying to set up their teammates.
Oh, good hands by Payne. And she'll get 2 and get a chance for 3 at the free throw line. And
the foul's going to go on Drew Clark.
And I know the coach will say, if you're going to foul, don't let him score.
Well, you could see the indecision, and these are kind of those
right.
young decisions that he's talking about.
And
First,
Drew
she wasn't
is a
gonna,
sophomore.
Yeah, and she wasn't going to contest it, and then she thought, oh, that'd be dumb. But you're right, Doc. You have to let them know that you have fouled them.
And I'm not saying a flagrant.
No
flagrant.
No.
Just let them know you're there.
You do.
Do your best to be sure that 2 does not go in if you're going to give them a chance at the charity stripe. Oh, nice drive by Carper. Won't go down, and Williams with the board.
That is actually Drew's second foul. But nobody in major trouble. There's only a minute left here in the second quarter.
Oh, Payne's 3 is off. Good board that time by Clark.
She finds Turrieta, who's going to go ahead and get it off to her guards.
We're under a minute. And now Sierra Smith, we haven't heard from since the beginning of the game. Okay, nice pass, actually. Shot is off, and a rebound to Williams. Williams has been doing a good job on the boards for the Trojans.
About 30 seconds in the game, 24 on the shot clock. Oh,
good play inside by
drive.
Arcee. Shot is off, though. Olympic will maintain, and Williams tries the 3. Payne with a great board for the Trojans.
And a better pass to Pond for 2. Amanda finishes that one.
8 seconds, 5, and Kingston's going to lose it at the end of the first half here. And it's a bit of a run here in the last couple minutes by the Trojans, who take a 22-14 lead over the Buccaneers.
Well, Doc, that was a really close second half until those last couple of, or not second half, second quarter. If it's second half, we're going home. But at the end of that, the Olympic just had a nice spurt and really good work on the offensive boards.
I was going to say rebounding played a big role there, and you got to say that the Trojans do have a bit of an advantage, I think, on that rebounding. Not only Payne and her height, but Williams has been doing a real nice job for Coach Shaw.
Well, Williams is strong. She plays well. Then they can bring in Timoteo off the bench, and she does a good job. And Amanda Pond was in the right spot a lot of times and finally finished it off with 2 near the end.
Okay, we're West Sound TV. Patricia Ann's on the camera, Kitty Campagna on one microphone, and I'm the Dr. Doc Parr. The end of the first half here in Kingston. The Olympic High Trojans leading the Buccaneers 22-14. And we'll be back with a second half for you shortly.